My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you? How dare you?
All right, counterpoint to you, Whoopi Goldberg. Number 2. Did you guys know back at home, by the way, that in 2017, Whoopi Goldberg received a GLAAD Media Award for executively producing a show called Strut? It was a transgendered modeling show. She won the award for speaking up for trans rights and against those trying to roll them back. Oopsies! This is why I love intersectionality. Here we are in the middle of a vicious culture war where a bunch of men playing dress up and trying to convince people that they are women and can give birth, they can chest feed, and here comes along Whoopi Goldberg, and she's so fired up about abortion that she accidentally tells the truth. Only women can give birth. Only women have a womb that is capable of carrying a child.
What happens when two bold voices collide over one of the most controversial topics of our time? That's exactly what played out when Candace Owens turned her attention to Whoopi Goldberg. It all began with Whoopi receiving an award for her advocacy on transgender rights. But then came the moment no one expected. Whoopi casually stated that only women can get pregnant. It was one of those comments that instantly froze the room. Candace Owens wasn't willing to let it pass. She jumped in, calling out what she described as a clear contradiction. How, Owens asked, could Goldberg be praised for backing the idea that gender is fluid, only to then make a statement rooted so firmly in biology?
All of that, it sells everything. Sex sells. Yeah. And yet when it comes to the reality of pregnancy, this particular group of people on the right in this country and these religious zealots do not understand the reality of what happens when you have sex.
I don't think she knows that it's not pronounced sex, but we'll pretend that there's an H somewhere in there. For counterpoint number 1, I want to say, yes, Joy Behar, you are correct. Sex is everywhere. Our culture is sick.
For Owens, this wasn't just about Whoopi. It was about a bigger cultural contradiction, one she was ready to call out. This clash didn't stay on the surface. It dug into deeper questions about truth, biology, and the stories society keeps telling itself. Owens' fiery critique hit hard, turning heads and sparking debates across the country. And it wasn't only about pointing out Goldberg's words. It was about shaking up a conversation that's been quietly simmering for years.
Stacey Abrams joined Morning Joe on MSNBC, and she said that more abortions could help solve the inflation problem.
Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas. It's why you're concerned about how much food costs. For women, this is not a reductive issue. You can't divorce being forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy from the economic realities of having a child.
I don't know what to say, guys. I know you're concerned about the gas prices. I know you're a little concerned about what's happening at the grocery store and that you're spending $100 for a little slice of steak. But have you ever thought that it's actually your fault because you had children? Actually, the problem is that you're alive. The problem is that you're breathing. It's not that the government totally messed up and their policies have been anti-nationalistic.
After Whoopi Goldberg's comment that only women can get pregnant caused a stir, Candace Owens saw a chance to highlight what she called contradictions in today's gender debates. Goldberg had just received an award for her advocacy on transgender rights, a recognition celebrating inclusivity and blurred gender lines. Yet her remarks stood in sharp contrast, drawing a clear line in the sand about biological reality. Owens didn't hold back. She pointed out how Goldberg's words directly conflicted with the very ideas she was being praised for. How, Owens asked, can someone champion the idea that gender is fluid while also making a statement grounded in traditional biology?
We have an increasingly sick culture here in America. Religious zealots and/or people on the right very much understand that reality. We understand that when a culture promulgates promiscuity, it leads to people engaging in unfulfilling, unprotected sex. Far from your assessment that we don't understand what happens when you have sex, we understand exactly what happens. Children are the consequence. Life is the consequence.
For Owens, this wasn't just a slip of the tongue. It reflected contradictions that often go unchallenged in today's culture. Her comments sparked a wider discussion about how these mixed messages shape public opinion. Is it possible to respect gender identity while still acknowledging biological realities? Owens argued that moments like these reveal the fragile foundation of many popular narratives. By examining Goldberg's words closely, She pushed the conversation toward deeper questions about what society accepts as truth. From there, Owens shifted her focus to another controversial topic: men claiming they can experience pregnancy. She didn't hold back, calling out what she saw as society's disconnect from biological facts. Owens insisted that, regardless of identity, pregnancy is something only women can experience. Next, she turned to a trend reflecting broader societal changes: teenage pregnancy. Owens pointed out that teen pregnancy rates steadily declined from the 1970s into the early 2000s, but in recent years, progress has begun to slip. She linked this to a cultural shift in attitudes toward responsibility and self-control. Owens argued that when society normalizes risky behavior and dismisses traditional values, consequences inevitably follow. She questioned how we went from a culture that once valued caution and commitment to one increasingly indifferent to the challenges teen parents face.
It would seem to me that it's the atheist zealots, the ones who have normalized sex-laden aspirin commercials, that don't quite understand what happens when you have unprotected sex. And then, when they find out, they go, whoops, well, good thing I learned in health class that I can just get an abortion to deal with it. Did you know, Joy, that before federally funded sex ed programs in school, which sprang up in the 1970s, and before Roe v. Wade in 1973, teenage pregnancy rates in this country were declining?
Her critique didn't stop at identifying the problem. Owens stressed that tackling this issue requires more than surface-level campaigns. She urged schools, families, and communities to focus on educating young people about the responsibilities of parenting and the value of personal accountability. To her, ignoring these discussions risks leaving a generation unprepared for life's realities. Owens's message was clear. This isn't just about statistics, it's about the future we're shaping for young people and the society they will inherit.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Candace Owens has been one of the most outspoken critics of what she calls the rise of woke culture. To Owens, this movement is less about progress and more about rewriting basic truths. She describes woke culture as a societal shift that puts feelings above facts, leading to a rejection of traditional values and a disregard for cultural heritage. Owens argues that this mindset weakens respect for shared morals and long-standing traditions. She believes that woke ideology often promotes ideas that clash with biological realities and common sense. According to her, the push to normalize concepts like fluid gender identities and radical individualism causes confusion rather than true inclusivity.
Of 12 years. Maybe what we on the right understand is that there is such a thing as sexually transmitted insanity. The normalization of non-committal sex, which is pervasive in our culture and in our schools, and it serves.
For Owens, this wasn't about diminishing anyone's identity. It was about recognizing the unchangeable truths of human biology. She criticized what she called playing dress-up, arguing that society's acceptance of these ideas undermines both science and the unique role of women in childbirth. But Owens didn't stop at biology. She also raised concerns about the wider cultural impact. What does it mean for a society when basic truths are rewritten to fit trends? She argued that this shift doesn't just affect individuals, it changes how we see roles, responsibilities, and even reality itself. Her words sparked controversy, but Owens stood firm. Challenging these beliefs is vital to preserving cultural values and protecting the integrity of science. This, she said, is a conversation we must have before we lose sight of what makes us human.
That you and the ladies that sit beside you contribute daily to that toxic culture of lies.
Candace Owens didn't hold back when addressing what she called a reckless culture around unprotected sex. She criticized how many treat intimacy without considering the potential consequences, especially unintended pregnancies. Owens argued that society has grown desensitized to the weight of these choices. Instead of emphasizing responsibility, she said, people are quick to ignore the long-term impact of their actions. She also pointed out how cultural shifts have made accountability seem optional. In Owens's view, the media and entertainment industries often glorify carefree lifestyles while downplaying the realities of parenthood. She questioned why discussions about family planning and sexual health don't take center stage more often. To her, this lack of focus feeds into a larger societal problem, one where the consequences of casual choices are ignored, leaving children and families to bear the fallout. Owens made a strong call for change, urging society to embrace responsibility and bring conversations about sexual health and values back to the forefront. Her critique wasn't just about blaming, it was about starting a conversation on how we got here and what must change to ensure future generations grow up in a more accountable world.
And also, I think it's something. You're a single mom of a teenage son who's 18.
I
Girl,
know,
you look
it's
so
horrible.
good.
I cannot lie about my age because they count and they,
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I
What if you had it
can't.
when you were 12?
Yeah,
But Owens isn't just worried about the loss of tradition. She sees a bigger problem. She says this cultural shift has fragmented society, replacing shared moral standards with personal interpretations of right and wrong. Owens warns that this weakens social cohesion and leaves future generations disconnected from their roots. For her, woke culture isn't progress, it's chaos dressed up as virtue. When Candace Owens confronted Whoopi Goldberg, it wasn't just a clash of opinions, it was a fight over truth and consistency. Owens challenged Goldberg's statement that only women can get pregnant, especially given her advocacy for gender inclusivity. That contradiction became the center of their confrontation.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
okay, next question. Great statement.
Owens directly challenged Goldberg, asking how she could support transgender rights while making a statement that reinforced traditional gender roles. For Owens, it wasn't just about the comment, it was about what it revealed. She saw it as exposing the inconsistencies in woke culture, where one message often contradicts another. The public and media reaction was intense. Supporters of both Owens and Goldberg took to social media to voice their opinions, turning the confrontation into a national debate. Many praised Owens for boldly calling out the contradictions, while others criticized her approach as divisive. This clash wasn't just a headline, it reflected a deeper divide in society. Owens' sharp critique and Goldberg's defensive response highlighted just how sensitive and polarizing these conversations have become. The encounter left people questioning how far society should go in redefining identity and truth. Candace Owens' fiery critique of Whoopi Goldberg and the broader issues around woke culture, gender identity, and societal values shows the deep divides shaping our world today. From exposing contradictions in public statements to challenging the consequences of cultural shifts, Owens has forced conversations that many avoid. Whether you agree with her or not, her arguments push us to think critically about the values we uphold and the truths we defend.
They were discussing how many kids people should or should not have. And here is the clip.
We're talking about the same thing weirdly, how fucking crazy it is to raise so many kids, because we were all asking each other how many kids we want, and I was like 10, and they were like, dude, are you crazy?
Yes.
And I'm
you know what? And you're selfish because not a single one of those kids is going to feel loved enough than the other.
Oh, dude, yes, they would.
Nope.
Maybe
Four
not in your
is
house.
the max where, no.
I got too
You
much love to
cannot
give.
nope. You can't give equal love to 10 kids. There's no shot.
That's pretty pessimistic.
Well, it's the truth.
You have 6 children, so explain to us which ones you love more, or tell us why you think she's wrong.
Well, yeah, she's right. You know, you have, it's just basic math, 100% of love, and then you have to divide it between all the kids. And so I guess the idea is if you have up to 4, then at least each kid gets 25%. I mean, it's like I'm joking, but that is actually how they see it.
This isn't just a clash between two public figures. It reflects bigger questions we all face about identity, responsibility, and the direction of our society. Owens and Goldberg's confrontation forces us to consider how we define truth, balance personal freedom with accountability, and navigate the cultural shifts shaping the world around us. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And don't forget, more videos exploring the stories and debates shaping our society are right on screen now.